most of you have been taught, if you've been taught anything about the law of attraction at all, that you have to be a certain vibrational frequency to attract certain things that are representative of that vibration. And that is not incorrect, but it is an incomplete definition. It is an incomplete understanding. This is how the law of attraction actually works. Okay. You understand that you have already a core natural vibration that represents the unique you that you are, yes?
Yeah.
That core frequency beams from you all the time, just like a lighthouse beacon. You can't help it. You're always radiating that core vibration that represents the true natural you. Everything that is in alignment and is reflective of that core vibration is doing its best to get to you. Everything that is not representative of that core true vibration is doing its best to get as far away from you as it possibly can. The things that are out of alignment with your true vibration that seem to still stick around is not because you're not attracting what is in alignment. It's because you're not letting go of what is out of alignment. Everything that is attempting to get to you that is in alignment, if it's not coming to you, it's not because you're not attracting it, it's because you're keeping it at bay with your beliefs. So the idea of the law of attraction is not that you have to learn how to attract. It's not that you have to necessarily be the vibration of that thing in order to attract it precisely, though there is some truth to that. But more fundamentally, the idea is just stop keeping away the things that are trying to get to you that are representative of your true vibration, and stop holding on to the things that are not representative of it. That said, the law of attraction is really all about just letting go and letting in.
If you follow the flow, your needs will always manifest if they are relevant for who you truly are. There is nothing you need to do beyond that. The current of creation, your current in creation, already knows where you need to go. Surrender is not surrendering control. Surrendering is surrendering to the control that's already built into you. That's why you go with the flow. The current already knows where you need to go. You don't need to make things happen. Making things happen, believing that you need to make things happen, is resistance to the current. Everything that's relevant for you is already contained within the current's energy. Just go with the flow. Your life will unfold naturally. You will respond to it in a positive way. Synchronicity will abound. Everything that needs to happen in your life that's relevant for you to experience will happen in perfect timing. That's all there is to it. You don't need to make it work. The machine works. Let it work. Let it work. Don't stop it by thinking you know better what should happen here. No, you don't.
If you're really passionate about something and passionate about being that passionate, you will do what it takes. You will allow yourself to be completely submerged and obsessed with the very idea of creating the state itself that is representative of the reality you prefer. Now, you don't have to do this. It's up to you. But what we are saying here now, and what we will be repeating throughout this particular transmission, is the recognition that whatever stage, whatever level of frequency, whatever level of commitment, whatever level of drive, whatever level of hunger you decide you choose to have for being passionate is completely what will determine the level of reflection you get, the level of effect you get. So if you say to yourself, I don't have to listen to that again. I already know it. Still not working for me. I'm still not happy. Still not getting the reality vibration. Still not creating the state of being I want. But I don't have to listen to that again. Then that's the state you will remain in. Remember a time when you became passionate about something, anything. You couldn't get enough of it. Every day, every waking thought, you ate it, you drank it, you breathed it in. You looked for anything that had to do with that thing, to learn more, to feel more, to absorb more, to immerse yourself, surround yourself more with that idea. The idea is that in and of itself, that activity in and of itself of immersing yourself in a passionate state is paramount, is very important to the generation of attracting all the things that are then representative of that passion. So if you're not going to be passionate about being passionate, you are going to remove for yourself a very strong stepping stone, a very strong connective link to attracting the things themselves that are representative of your passion. Now we understand, and we know you understand, that even with this knowledge, there will still be portions of your mind, portions of your physical mind going, oh no, that's just too much. So be it. That's your choice. But we are here to tell you that everything you need to know and everything you have learned from us is being restated in this work, and you have it available to you. Take advantage of it. Immerse yourself. And again, please remember how important it is for many of you to act things out. We know, it's no secret to us, that when we have often suggested to many of you that the way to allow yourself greater opportunity for manifestation, greater ability for manifestation, is to actually go and physically act out the scenario that represents your highest joy. And we know, as we said, it's no secret to us that most of you simply don't. Why not? That's the question. That's the true, honest self-assessment that really needs to be investigated. Why not? Because what that simply means is you're not really that passionate about creating that reality. It's not really that important to you. You're not really consumed by it. You're not really obsessed by it. You're not really immersed by it. Why not? That's the question. Why not? That is the most important question you can ask yourself with regard to what you say is your passion. Why am I not more passionate about my passion? Why am I not willing to do the things that everyone says will work? Why not? And that's where you need to come face to face with your own identity, your own physical mind, your own belief systems, your own definitions, your own issues about what it is that you are allowing to define you. And you do get a picture in your imagination of who you prefer to be, what you prefer to be doing, where you prefer to be doing it, how you prefer to be doing it. When you see that, all you really have to do is mimic it, mirror it, act it out as best as you can on all levels of your life. All you have to do is be like that person in your mind's eye. Do things the way he or she would do it. And then when you start doing things the way he or she would do it, you will change your vibration to the vibration that is representative of that life. And when you shift your vibration to the representation of that life, you will start to synchronistically have that life. All the things that are representative of what that you would have will come in. So that's how to use your imagination as an actual tool. Because remember, when we talk about manifesting, you're not actually talking about bringing something to you that isn't already here. Things already exist here and now. You don't have to actually reach out to some endless dimension. Somehow bring it into manifestation in physical reality. It's already in existence. It's already here because there is only here. There is only now. Look at your watches. Anytime you decide what time it is always now, isn't it? Yes, that's the only time it is. All your watches should simply say now, 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 now. That's the only time it really is ever. You never say, oh, I think it's then. No, it's now. What time is it? It's now. So there is only now, and things can manifest only in the now. What you call from your linear space-time illusionary perspective, what you call different moments are actually the same moment from a different point of view. It's the same moment. So everything is here, everything is now, and manifestation is just about allowing you to be the vibration, the proper frequency that will allow you to see that part of the now that was heretofore invisible to you. It's as simple as that.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day. Cast your vote.
I go for 5 because I think
Do none of you have your own opinions? 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I'm joking with you.
I think focusing on the fact that everything exists in the now.
What a synchronicity.
Help moving away from being attached to the past.
All right, because there is no past to be attached to.
Yes.
If you understand there's no past to be attached to, it should be easy. Yes?
That's correct.
Then you don't have to work so hard at it, right?
Yeah.
All right. My work here is done.
So
Or maybe not.
no, well, of course I have questions.
Oh, of course. You know, you can make statements. You don't need questions. And the paradox is that sometimes when you make a statement, you actually open a door far wider for us than the question does. But nevertheless, if you have questions, by all means, don't let us stop you.
Thank you. So for me, I'm noticing that what I want to focus on in life is 2 challenges.
What is the first challenge?
The first one is relationships.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't been able to attract. I feel like I want to be. I want to experience a relationship and experience a family.
You have no relationships of any kind in your life?
I had, but nothing that.
You had? So you know no one. You have no friends, no family.
No, I'm sorry. I meant in a romantic relationship as someone to share my life with.
Oh, all right. But you are sharing your life with many people.
As in a,
I think you're missing my point. Why are you calling that out as different than anything else? Why are you making that stand out and making it seem so different to achieve other than the relationships you already have created?
Maybe because I have a specific definition of that relationship that is different from, say, friendship or...
All right. I'm not saying that there aren't relationships that are different in that context, but nevertheless, I'm asking, why are you making it stand out as being so different than attracting any kind of relationship? It might be that your definition is making it more difficult to attract because you're creating it to be such a rarefied thing.
I believe that's correct.
You're putting it on a pedestal.
Yes.
Well, hard to reach, isn't it? When it's on a pedestal. If you bring it down to earth, like any relationship, I'm not devaluing it, not invalidating it, but if you allow it to be like any relationship, generally speaking, then whatever unique aspects that relationship has for you will be easier to access. But you can't put it on a pedestal and expect to reach it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is very similar to the idea of having a particular assumption, insistence, or expectation for how something should play out. And as we have already said, the formula for following your excitement is to drop all of that assumption and insistence and expectation for what the outcome ought to be, or how it should look, or in what form it should come. So putting things on a pedestal is very similar to that expectation.
And I'm noticing that I'm not only putting it on a pedestal, but I'm also becoming very picky as time goes, which you would think, I would think it would be the opposite, but so I have like this really strong
Do you not trust your life to bring you what you truly need? Do you have to engineer every detail to make sure it's right? Because becoming more picky, as you say, is the surest way to get reflections of others who are going to be just as picky about you. Remember, physical reality is a mirror. And if you become too picky, not saying you can't have preferences, but if you become judgmentally picky, then what you're going to get is a reflection of people who are also going to be picky about whether or not they want to interact with you, because that's what you're giving off. Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping you relax some of your need to engineer this? And is it increasing your ability to trust that your life will unfold as it needs to, a little bit more naturally?
Yes, and to some extent when I ask myself, okay, if this never happens,
yes,
will I still lead a happy and fulfilled life?
That's an excellent question to ask yourself. Asking that question is the right track.
And my answer to myself is yes, but I'm not sure if that's kind of like a mind kind of like type of answer, or
no,
that's what I truly believe.
Allow yourself to believe it if you wish. You don't have to, but if you allow yourself to believe that you will still be truly happy, even if that relationship never occurs, then you'll be truly happy. And when you are truly happy, you make it far more likely that such a relationship will occur. That's the paradox. Because you don't need it in that context, in the sense of neediness, in the sense of desperation. So when you're happy because you're happy, then all the things that are capable of entering your life to reflect the happiness that you choose to have, regardless of whether they show up or not, will be more capable of showing up. Remember, manifestation is not the product of bringing something to you that you don't have. Manifestation is the product of making visible what you already have, but simply don't see it because you're not in the same wavelength. If the idea of that joyful relationship is representative of happiness, then be happy regardless of whether the relationship is there, so at least you give the relationship a greater probability of showing up to reflect the happiness that you already have, because you don't need the relationship to make you happy. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is this helping?
Absolutely.
What is the second great challenge of your life?
It's somewhat you touched on, in your answer, you kind of like touched on it already, which is...
All right. So it might be the same challenge in different clothing.
It's very possible.
Oh, all right. Yes, I know.
It's about financial abundance.
Yes, well, we did touch on that.
So yeah,
do you wish to be abundant?
Yes, I mean...
Then be abundant in all ways, not just financially. Why limit it? Many people think, oh, well, if I have a lot of money, then I'm really abundant. When in fact, having a lot of money could actually be shutting the door to other forms of abundance that would actually be greater. Money is fine because that's a valid symbol on your planet, but it isn't always the path of least resistance to true abundance. Where it's needed, it will come in. Where it's not needed, it won't. And sometimes it not coming in is actually a way for you to get an idea that maybe another form of abundance would actually work better in that circumstance, such as we described with regard to the photographer. You understand?
Yes, and you know, I'm always prosperous, but it's it's almost like there's a wall where it kind of taps out. And
again, you're creating the wall with your definitions. There are no walls except as you define them. But again, you may be defining that wall because you believe you need more of a particular kind of abundance than any other. And as soon as you make one form of abundance unequal to all the rest, you throw the whole thing out of whack. All forms of abundance must be equally valid in order for any form of abundance to come to you more easily. As soon as you single one out as being more important, you shut the doors through which all the other forms could come, and you actually make it more difficult for even the form you're focused on to manifest, because now it can't count on the support of all the other forms of synchronous abundance that may be required for that form to manifest. Because they all work together. They all work together. They are not segregated. All forms of abundance support all other forms of abundance. As I said in the example with the photographer, even though she was willing to simply be flown around the world in exchange for the photographs, the airline still paid her. So her willingness to allow one form of abundance actually attracted another form of abundance, and another form, and another, because they're all interconnected. So don't insist on just one form, otherwise you, well, shortchange yourself.
Thank you. So you can't say, I'm just gonna, it's a game. I'm just gonna focus on this one thing and figure out a way to make it work.
You can if you wish, but I'm simply telling you that sometimes when you do that, you're taking the longer road. But if that's the road you wish to take, if that's the path you're exploring, if that's the theme you're looking into, then by all means, that's what you will keep doing until you have gotten every single ounce of understanding and learning out of it that you chose to get out of it. And I'm not going to stop you or dissuade you from taking that path. I am simply telling you what the underlying mechanisms are all about so that you have clarity about why you're choosing what you're choosing and why you're exploring what you're exploring. So that you don't think anything is wrong, you just understand that you're making choices and that there are consequences to those choices and that you can make other choices if you ultimately prefer to. And that's all we're telling you. It's up to you. Does that help?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And there was one question that was brought to me by one of the audience. How can you tell if someone is lying?
We already answered that. What difference does it make?
I'm just the messenger. I don't.
All right, but the idea really is ultimately, what difference does it make? If you know that whatever state of being you're creating for yourself is what you will experience no matter what anyone else's intention toward you is, it doesn't really much matter if they're lying to you or not, because you know that the only effect you're going to have in your reality is going to be a positive one regardless of what's going to happen with them. You understand?
Yes.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. This is how it works. Please, 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 again, understand. We are not giving you a philosophy. We are not giving you an opinion. We are describing an observation of how reality is structured, how it works. This is literally an instruction manual. By following the instructions, you allow the machine to work to your advantage. If you throw the instruction manual away, the machine may work, but you might also injure yourself. So the idea is just follow the instructions. Act on your highest passion every moment that you can. Take it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Do it with absolutely no insistence or assumption as to the outcome. Stay in a positive state no matter what happens, no matter what manifests, because the end cap to that instruction manual is it doesn't matter what happens. It only matters what you do with what happens. That's what makes the difference in your life, because everything is neutral and can serve double duty. So even though something may have originated negatively, even though someone else's experience or opinion of it may be negative, if you stay in a neutral state and in a positive state by knowing that you must be experiencing this for a positive reason, no matter how it looks, you will also and always derive a positive and beneficial effect from it, no matter what anyone else is getting out of it. That's up to you. That's your call. You have that choice, you have that freedom, you have that power to determine what this means for you in your life. Even something that you might neutrally not prefer must still be there for a reason if it manifested in your life. If you stay in a positive understanding of that, then you'll be able to use what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer. It will still give you some benefit. If nothing else, sometimes things manifesting that you don't prefer more clearly delineate the difference between what you don't prefer and what you do prefer, and that's a positive effect. So always use it to your advantage. It's always your choice to do so. You always have the ability to make that choice. And then you will experience the idea of abundance in all its forms. You will go with the flow of your own current in creation, and you will experience the effortlessness and the joy that life has to offer. When you have belief systems that create resistance
to the idea of opening up to the other forms, you slow everything down by insisting that it can only happen this way, and I can only do this if this happens in this way. Then you're actually slowing down the process by which you might actually have been capable of doing whatever that is much more quickly and much more easily. Is this making some sense? So allow yourself, as you go through life and as you act on your passion to the best you can, with no insistence or assumption on the outcome, please remember that third part of the formula, which many of you sometimes conveniently forget. I'm acting on my passion, I'm acting on my passion, I'm acting on my passion. And this had better happen, and this had better happen, and this had better happen, or something's wrong. That's not the formula. When we say act on your passion to the best you can, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, the implication in that statement is very clear. There will be moments when you will not be able to take it further in that way. That's not a block. It is an arrow pointing in an unexpected direction that is actually more representative of your true path. Let yourself go with the flow. Remember, sometimes many of you think that the path of least resistance is straight and true and short. Not always. In fact, not often. The idea is that sometimes the path of least resistance may be a very winding path, because it may need to get some experience under your belt. It may need to allow you to have a meeting over here with someone you hadn't met before. It may direct you over here to a bit of information that you require, so that you will have a deeper appreciation when you wind up wherever it is you are winding up by having gathered the things you needed on the way. That path is your path of abundance. The path of least resistance is the path of greatest abundance, greatest synchronicity, greatest allowance, greatest giving, greatest imagination, all of it. The idea being that even though some paths may look very short and very straight, if it's not your path of least resistance, it will actually take longer to travel that path than one that seems longer and winding, because the path of least resistance will offer no resistance. You will be able to move on that path much more quickly than a shorter path that has nothing to do with you, because that shorter path will be full of things that you will experience as resistance to slow you down, to indicate to you it's not your path. So even a longer path may get you where you're going much faster if it is your true path. And this also allows abundance to work more effectively for you in all of its forms, because then you will be in alignment with who you are. When we talk about the idea of being on your path, we remind you that this is just a euphemism. In other words, you're not on a path. You are a path. You are a unique expression of all that is. You are the experience itself that you are having. The idea is that all of your physical reality isn't outside you, it's within you. You are having that experience, you're projecting it within yourself, you're creating that experience within your consciousness. It is who and what you are as a unique representation and a unique reflection of creation, of existence, of all that is. So when you allow all forms of abundance to support you, then you allow yourself to truly take advantage of that particular tool in the kit of passion, because it contains very specific tools that will propel you through life in the most advantageous and joyful way. When you follow the formula of acting on your passion to the best you can, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and you do this with absolutely no insistence or assumption as to where you're supposed to wind up, as we have told you before, you open up that kit that contains the driving engine of your life. It moves you through life very quickly because you are so excited to do what it is that excites you. You find the energy, it comes to you. It becomes the organizing principle of synchronicity. That means it brings you the opportunities that contain the highest excitement in the order in which you need to act on them. And whatever it is you didn't have time to do at the end of the day when you're excited about going to sleep, you didn't need to do that day. It is that organizational. It also is, as we have said, the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through life very rapidly, very effortlessly. It is the path that connects you to all expressions of your excitement in life, because there may be many. But it all interconnects. And if you follow that thread of excitement, you will see how they all interrelate and interconnect to get you where you need to go. Notice I keep saying where you need to go, not necessarily where you want to go, because that can sometimes be misleading. There may be times when what you want and what you need may be synonymous, but very often when you hold on to negative and fear-based belief systems, and sometimes you make choices out of desperation or fear, even unconsciously, what you want or think you need by wanting it is not necessarily what you actually need to be fulfilled. But to be fulfilled, you will be given everything you need, because that's another tool in the kit, is it leaves nothing relevant for you out. It is a complete kit. It contains everything you need. It is designed vibrationally for you. It's your path. You are the path. It's your frequency. That's what passion is. It's your frequency being experienced in bodily form as a sensation. And it is the translation of your higher mind's language to you. The higher mind speaks in energy. The translation, the way you experience the higher mind's language is through the sensations called passion, love, excitement, creativity. That's how it translates in your body. When you respond by actually taking an action on your passion, you are responding in the language of physical reality, which is physical action. Because you can sit and think about it all day long. You can ponder it, you can wonder about it, you can give it lip service, but it will never actually be a response to your higher mind if it doesn't actually come through the physical actions you take. So the idea is that when you do take the physical action, you are demonstrating to your higher mind that you recognize that the passion is who you are, you're willing to act on it, you are committing to act on it. That's a response the higher mind understands from the language of physical reality, and therefore it will give you more to be excited about, and more to be excited about, and more to be excited about, because you're willing to act on the excitement, and act on the excitement, and act on the excitement. If you're not acting on it, why should the higher mind send you more passion, more excitement? You're not doing anything with what you've already been given. You have to get the cycle going. You have to get it running and keep it running by constantly acting on that passion, and therefore you're having that conversation, you're having that dialogue with your higher mind, and you're acting as a whole person, half in spirit, half in physical experience, the whole person working together in concert, in a partnership. So the idea then is that the kit of excitement, the kit of passion also contains the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything that might be out of alignment in your belief system with your passion, so that you can identify it, see why it's there, realize it has nothing to do with you, realize it's out of phase with your vibration, and let it go and add that energy back into your momentum, into your excitement. But the idea of discovering something that doesn't excite you, that's part of your excitement. It's not a block in your excitement. It is part of your passion to find out what beliefs are not part of your passion. Because then you are clarifying, accelerating yourself in that way by stripping away all the things that don't belong to you. Please remember, your own baggage weighs nothing. If you feel weighed down, you're carrying someone else's bags, someone else's beliefs. Your parents, your friends, your society, your schooling, wherever they came from, if you feel weighed down, that should be your first clue that you're carrying around baggage that doesn't belong to you. Drop it, and you will feel much lighter and be far more vibrationally receptive to all the different forms of abundance and support that are capable of coming to you in your life as the path that you chose to be. Does this make sense?
I want to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? Once again, we will extend to each and every one of you our deep and profound appreciation, allowing this transmission to take place through this particular gateway at this time and in this fashion. Once again, each and every time, your civilization helps to co-create this kind of a communicative link. It expands our understanding of the infinite by allowing us to experience through each and every one of you that many more perspectives that the infinite can express itself within. So we thank you for this gift. We would like to begin this transmission this day of your time with the following idea. We have discussed with you from time to time different ways of expressing or describing the concept of what physiological reality is. First and foremost, once again, we remind you that physical reality is not really something that you exist in. Physical reality exists within you. It is a concept experienced apparently outside yourself, because that's the definition of how you experience yourself as physical reality. Not in, as physical reality. So everything that is physical is, in a sense, an expression or a reflection of your consciousness interacting with itself, experiencing itself from a different point of view, from a particular modality, from a particular perspective. Now, we have discussed the idea of the structure that your consciousness creates within itself that represents the structure of physical reality. All of these, of course, simply being analogies, but from time to time, an analogy and a symbol can help illuminate another way to interact with yourself as a physical concept, as a physical consciousness, or physicalized consciousness. So we would like to add one more understanding this day of your time, another symbol, another analogy, another illustration for how you can look at the idea of the structure of physical reality And perhaps it may give you a little bit insight into how you can utilize or blend with or facilitate your experience and creation of physical reality a little bit more effortlessly, a little bit more easily than you have heretofore done. Many of you now know that in this age of acceleration, you are exploring the expansion of consciousness, in which you are discovering that you are more than just the concept of a localized awareness, a localized being. You are expanded. You exist on multidimensional levels. At the same time, you also experience this particular aspect of your collective consciousness as a localized physical presence. But the idea is that everything, as we have said, is vibration. Everything is frequency of energy. And what you consider to be solidly physical is really nothing more than a particular frequency of light, of energy, that is perceived by you as being solid and impenetrable. But this is simply a matter of frequency rate, oscillation rate. The idea, therefore, is to begin to really understand yourself as a physical construction as really a vibration of light, a vibration of electromagnetic energy. If you will begin to imagine that everything you call an atom, a subatomic particle, a solid idea is really not solid as a piece of matter, except in the idea that it is a fluctuation of energy that you perceive as solid, that is vibrating at a certain rate that makes it seem impossible to pass through. If you begin with the idea that everything is just the same kind of energy in motion, vibrating very rapidly, you can understand how it can be made to seem impenetrable or solid, in that something that is moving back and forth very fast, you may not be able to get in between it fast enough, in between the spaces fast enough, and so by coming up against something that is vibrating at a high rate of speed, it may appear to be something you cannot penetrate. But there are, as all of you already know, spaces in between those vibrations. And the idea of interpenetration and allowing physical reality to be more malleable, more flexible, more easily manipulated by you into the form you wish it to be, is to learn to match the frequency of physical reality so that when you are matched, when you are synchronized, you can then more easily slip into the spaces because they are not vibrating faster than you, these other energies, and thus you will be able to allow the concept of physical reality to be expressed through your consciousness in such a way so as to have a higher degree, shall we say, of control over exactly how physical reality manifests itself. So the way you need to do that is to accelerate your own frequency, match the vibration of the frequency of your reality, and then when you are in lockstep, you will find that physical reality really is nothing but, in a sense, a projection, a, shall we say, self-realization of one particular way you may have of looking at yourself, and you will understand that physical reality is really nothing but a mirror, a reflection of whatever the strongest idea of yourself is, what you may hold to be true at any given moment. So one exercise you can do, if you wish to participate now, very briefly, is to imagine, if you wish to close your eyes, this is all right, imagine that a particular solid object, or your body, is literally made of light, vibrating, flickering at a certain rate, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, but so fast it is almost imperceptible. In your imagination now, slow it down enough, or speed up your perceptibility so that you can see the flickering, almost as if you were seeing your body as a ghostly flickering image, vibrating very rapidly, but you can see the flickering. You can see it there, not there, there, not there, there, not there. Then, allow yourself to see an object in physical reality and see the idea of your physical reality also flickering. Every object, on, off, there, not there, at a high rate of speed. Perhaps various objects vibrating at various rates of speed, so that nothing is really vibrating at exactly the same rate. Allow yourself now to look at the concept of what you might consider to be your future self, your more evolved self, a self that operates on a higher frequency rate, vibrating, flickering faster than the image of the body that you have in your mind that represents your present self does. See the comparison. Make a comparison in your mind between the you are now, flickering at a certain rate, and the you that you prefer to be, that you want to be, vibrating, flickering very rapidly, very rapidly, at what you would call the ideal flicker rate to represent the concepts of experiencing only love, joy, creativity, all those kinds of things you associate with higher self, future self, ideal self, your most exciting vision of your life and who you want to be. Then, imagine, feel the flickering that you're doing now, and look at the flickering you want to do. Look at the frequency you want to exist on in your imagination. Feel the difference, and then feel your own energy now going faster, faster, flickering faster, faster, vibrating higher, 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 until you reach the resonant frequency of your future self, until you feel, see, imagine the you are now and the you want to be flickering at exactly the same rate. When it does, when both bodies flicker at the same rate, imagine them merging, blending, interpenetrating one another until it becomes one idea, one thing. When you then see that, look at all the objects in your physical reality that are vibrating at different rates, different frequencies, and one by one, each object, imagine it coming into higher and higher and higher frequencies until each and every object matches the frequency that you are now operating at. Until you begin to see everything glow with light at the same level that you are radiantly glowing. As you bring, in this exercise, in this meditation, each and every object to the same rate that you are vibrating at, allow yourself to imagine that you are, in fact, seeing a reflection in a mirror of another angle, another idea of your consciousness, because your consciousness can take any form and does take all forms. If it works for you to do it this way, absorb the object once it matches your frequency. If you see the chair, if you see a pencil, make it vibrate to the same level as you and then absorb it. Let it interpenetrate you. Become one with it. Feel the harmonic resonance accelerate and increase when you absorb it, as if another note has been added to the symphony of the vibrations that make you up. Do this with everything in the room that you happen to be in when you choose to do this in a meditative state. You will feel yourself, with practice, doing this as often as you want, you will feel yourself actually accelerating, bit by bit, day by day, moment by moment, more and more every day. You will feel your energy rise. You will begin to feel and actually perceive more light in your reality. You will begin to perceive physically an effect that will make it seem as if your reality is more flexible, more malleable, less, shall we say, obstructive, less solid in that sense, that things are flowing more easily. You will begin to see other things as a reflection of you. Feel them, know that they are, rather than just intellectualize this concept. You will begin to really understand that everything is made of light and that everything is nothing but a reflection of the light of your consciousness. So do this exercise. Practice it as often as you want in a meditative, relaxed state while you are breathing deeply and fully, because oxygenation is important. It is one of the primary keys of centering yourself and giving yourself the boost of transformational energy you need to lock in these meditations, these imagination exercises. Do this as often as you wish, and over time you will find you will be accelerated, and you will see the effect of this acceleration in the ease with which many of the different aspects in your life begin to unfold synchronistically and magically. We thank you for allowing us to share with you this particular tool and exercise. It is now yours to use however you wish, or not use at all. It is up to you. But in return for the gift that you are giving our civilization this day of your time and allowing us to experience this interaction with you, I ask now in return, in what way may I and my civilization be of service?